Good evening from London. My name's Symon Garfield, and I just want to spend a few minutes introducing myself and my session that I'll be presenting at the SharePoint Best Practices Conference in May. I've been working with SharePoint now for around about 7 years. I first got involved in SharePoint as a result of doing a knowledge management module as part of an MBA that I was doing in 2003. And I've took a look at SharePoint and made the connection quite quickly between the technology and the knowledge management strategy that I've been studying as part of my MBA. And I've spent the last 6 or 7 years working with medium and large size enterprises in the UK, and my focus has always been on how they can deliver business value from the investments that they've made in the SharePoint platform. Along the way, I've done quite a few other things around SharePoint. So I'm the co-leader of the SharePoint user group in London. I work very closely with Microsoft, with their sales teams as what Microsoft call a virtual technology solutions professional. I'm also a MVP, most valued professional, which is an award from Microsoft for SharePoint. I'm currently doing a doctorate. I'm in the early stages of a doctorate at Henley Business School. And my area of research is around knowledge management, information worker productivity, so tying in very closely with my professional work around the SharePoint and productivity, Microsoft productivity technologies. And I'm the head of business consulting for a Microsoft Gold partner in the UK called Foundation SP. The Foundation SP are also Microsoft's Portals and Collaborations Partner of the Year for 2012, and we deliver services, both technical services around SharePoint, but also the business consulting experience services around SharePoint as well, which is the part of the business that I head up. My session at the Best Practices Conference is going to be called The Art of SharePoint Success. Now, the Art of SharePoint Success is a collection of stories, learnings, and experience from the last 7 years of consulting that I've done around SharePoint. I first wrote the Art of SharePoint Success as a series of 20 articles on the website CMS Wire, and you can still find them there, and they were amongst the most popular articles on that particular website during 2011. And then more recently I've collected the material together into a book called The Art of SharePoint Success, Delivering Business Value from SharePoint Investments, and that's available. I've published it on Amazon as a Kindle, but you can get the material freely from either CMS Wire or my own website. So the Art of SharePoint Success is a framework that I've put together which covers all of the non-technical elements of SharePoint, and it's a framework into which I've managed to fit all of my consulting experience over the last 6 years. And there's 4 elements to the framework. The first element is governance. And when I'm talking about governance, I'm talking about governance in a completely non-technical sense. I'm talking about governance in terms of who's responsible and accountable for a return on the investment that's made in the SharePoint platform. The second element of the framework is strategy and business case. So this is really concerned with the IT strategy alignment and making sure that the value proposition of SharePoint in your organization is understood. And the sorts of things that we'll be looking at in that part of the presentation is, for example, how do you develop your business case around a SharePoint investment or a SharePoint project. The third element of the framework is what I call business architecture. So although it's got the word architecture in there, this is actually nothing to do with technology. It's really about how do you present SharePoint to the users in your organization. How do they see it? And without giving away too much, the answer is that SharePoint is presented as a set of very distinct business tools, with each business tool having its own brand, its own purpose, and its own value proposition. And then the fourth and final part of the framework is what I call transition. And transition is an umbrella term which I use to cover both change at the organizational level and also change in behavior at the individual user level. So it's business change and user adoption. And as I say, over the last 6 or 7 years now, I've found that almost everything that I talk to clients about can be fitted into that framework somewhere along the line. And I'm very much looking forward to being able to share those experiences with you all at the Best Practices Conference. I think what the team are doing with the Best Practices Conference is fantastic. It's hugely innovative in terms of making a conference which is actually presented by business leaders as well as attended by business leaders. I know there's only a small number of consultants that are actually appearing at the conference, and it's a great honour to be selected as one of those. So I hope that you'll be joining us, and I hope to see you in the session. Come and say hi. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.